Everybody, welcome to. Oh, writing down this whole list for the greatest Royal Rumble card was tiring. I forgot. Welcome to Stadium Junkies Media's fortune booking the greatest Royal Rumble ever. I'm going to be your host, only host today. That is the champion. Haha. Gotta grab my championship belt because sometimes it's tiring just to be the reigning, defending champion. But without further ado, since the other gentlemen are unable to make this prediction before 11 hours before the Greatest Royal Rumble actually appears on the WWE Network, so instead, I have written down all our stuff. I have done the lottery and written down the whole shebang. So it's time to actually tell you tell you what we predicted. All right. Greatest Royal Rumble card. What we expect, what we anticipate. First thing we anticipate is the Cruiserweight Championship match will be probably first. What do you expect? That's their MO. They have it in that order. So what do we all choose? We all chose the Cruiserweight Championship match, Cedric Alexander versus, let's say, boring Kalisto. Kalisto, we love you, but Cedric's going to retain this one. And what did everyone say? From Cedric from Jeffrey, Cedric for Tony, Cedric for me. Taylor, did you even respond yet to my message? Double checking in the net. Stand by for news. Come on. I need confirmation. Not looked a single dang one of my messages. Gotcha. All right. So we'll get back to Taylor's probably afterwards, and probably going to put that down in the comments. By the way, don't forget, like, share, subscribe, and like, comment, share, subscribe. Sorry, I got to remember LCS squared, something I created. LCS square, make a better community for you. Like, share, comment, share, and subscribe. All right, so now we go to the Raw Tag Team Championship. What we have here is the Battle of the Bar versus the Deleter of Worlds. Haha, I really like that. So there's no champion here because it had to be given up by a 10-year-old and Braun himself. So what we got, Jeffrey saying, by the way, I'm going in order of from loser to winner in this one. Jeffrey saying Hardy and Wyatt. Tony saying the Woken Warriors. I say the Leader of Worlds, and Taylor's MIA. So we go on to the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, where they have the Bludgeon Brothers champions versus the Usos. Now, in this one, I've been noticing a lot of push for the Bludgeon Brothers, and it's so weird because they're trying to make them heels and trying to make it where they're just this unstoppable force with it, and it's going that way with the exclusion of a sliding on her knees Naomi, making what's his face, Eric Rowan lose the match. 50-50 ish booking. What does everyone say? Bludgeon Brothers, Bludgeon Brothers, Bludgeon Brothers, MIA. Okay. So we have the United States Championship match where Jeff Hardy, who just got it off of Jinder Mahal when he appeared on Raw, versus, hey, what do you know, rematch for the I'm about to go through Seth Rollins' part. The modern day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal. But what does everyone say on their greatest Royal Rumble card? Well, wrong card. Greatest Royal Rumble card. We have Jeff Hardy, Jeff Hardy, Jeff Hardy, and blank. So we get past that. We get to what I think is going to be the first exciting match if it goes in this order. Which probably I think they're going to start. They're probably going to start with this match because there's also rumored for a what's it called? Intermission, a 4-hour intermission for prayer. Hey, that's the culture in their society. I mean, we take 1-hour breaks. Other places take, you know, whatever for lunch because they care about, person to person interactions in Europe. They take 4 hour breaks for praying. Wow. Okay. What did it show the network during at the time? I heard four, but there's a possibility it's just one or longer because of how long the show is. So I think they're going to be starting off with this Intercontinental ladder match where Seth Rollins, the champion, versus The Miz, Finn Balor, and Samoa Joe. Difference between WrestleMania 34 and this ladder match is Samoa Joe, and of course a ladder match. So, what really I'm not this whole thing is all about just making the biggest cheers, getting all set for a future prediction for the steel cage match. But what we're going to expect? We're going to expect probably Seth Rollins winning and retaining, because the Miz and Samoa Joe is going to SmackDown. The only way I see that Seth Rollins does not win is in the earlier match that Jinder Mahal wins his title back. Jinder Mahal stays on Raw, which means you got to have a SmackDown champion. It's either The Miz or Samoa Joe. It'll be great for Joe to see it, but I'm going to stick with Seth Rollins, and they're not going to be messing up that stuff that much. So what does everyone say? We get Seth Rollins retaining, Seth Rollins retaining. I also said Seth Rollins retaining, and of course Taylor. Anything? No, sir. All right. Then in the middle of the card, the Greatest Royal Rumble? Maybe, maybe not. Don't know. But we'll deal with that when I tell you everyone's order. The Undertaker versus Rusev. Okay, so after problems with Rusev his wife talking smack online, it's still going to be Rusev. And guess what? Fanboy, The Undertaker. Tony, The Undertaker. The Undertaker. Taylor, probably The Undertaker. So then we have John Cena versus Triple H, which actually is the first thing that throws us off. I mean, this match was one of the first to be announced for the show. One would expect Triple H to go over, considering Cena's current booking and the fact that aired in WWE Network, but I don't know. Let me think about that. We have a bunch of people. I mean, we can look at it as one of two ways. Cena losing, making Triple H the winner, which they'll bring the expectations of all the older folks that are going to be there who love the Attitude Era. Okay. Or we have Cena winning, which is the face of all of WWE, and that will please all little kids and whatnots. And, everyone, they're really happy when they look and go, look, my kid's happy. John Cena won. Look at him. He's very cheerful. So what everyone said. Jeffrey, Cena. Tony, Triple H. What do you know? So that's the first differing factor. And of course, I said Cena because you're gonna have John Cena on a losing streak. The only reason why I see that would be for Triple H to be building up so he can let somebody take the fall for them. And if he lets somebody take the fall, I mean, then he has to build up, and the only way they can do that is with him beating Cena. Do I see Cena losing? I don't know. That's only if he can win the Royal Rumble, which I'll tell you our predictions about that after the next two matches. First, we have WWE Championship AJ Styles versus the heel turn, the ball hitting Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, the question is, do we have a change of title finally? That was very underappreciated and, to be honest, kind of dull expectations for high expectations, dull outcome for WrestleMania. So what everyone has on here. AJ Styles for Jeffrey, Shinsuke Nakamura for Tony, and I, too, went Shinsuke Nakamura. So, obviously, ball hitting works. he already has three children. He has it on the side of his body. Shows that tattooed the birth date. So don't need him for other comedic sake. I predict that there will be a cup involved, and Shinsuke will find a way to kick it or low blow him one more time to knock it out of place. Then Shinsuke gets the win. Then, to delay the fact that the prophecy needs to be completed, the Universal Championship has a steel cage match. Brock Lesnar, the reigning, defending, undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion, Brock Lesnar, comes into a steel cage match against Roman Reigns, which, why does he get a rematch? Why does he get a rematch? Why? Seriously. Yes, prophecy's complete. Yes, the whole thing of we want a bigger cheer. Nobody was going to be cheering. And to be honest, yes, you're banking on the fact that these guys aren't marks. Good for you. It's going to be good for promo packages. It's going to be good to look when he actually wins it and ends the storyline. Good for you. But as a mark, it just ticks me off. But I can't do a thing about it. The mark side says I hate it. The businessman side says I love it. But what does everyone say? Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns. Prophecy is complete. So then we get to the greatest Royal Rumble. If y'all just watched the previous video, I just did a lottery on a little tumbler. Here's the results. So let me start with the winners. We have Jeffrey saying Daniel Bryan, Tony saying John Cena, which I can see that since he allowed Triple H to win. Good for you. I like that. And I say Braun Strowman with Taylor pending, which, dang it, Taylor, you're not responding to me. You're off work. Whatever. I don't care anymore. But then we go in order, by the way. I'll give you the statistics later. There's 50, so this is a lot. First 10. Tony, me. Taylor, me. Jeffrey, me. Taylor, me. Jeffrey, Tony. Okay. Me, Taylor, Tony, me, Jeffrey, me, Tony, Jeffrey, Taylor. 21 through 30. Tony, Taylor, Tony, me, Tony, Taylor. So what you didn't notice in the first 30 was Jeffrey only had 4 picks in the first 30. None in 21 through 30. I only had 1 in 21 through 30. But he has 8 picks after 30. And especially with the ones coming up. 31 through 40. Tony, Jeffrey, me, Jeffrey, Tony, Taylor, Jeffrey. Then the final 10. What usually people pay attention to, what probably matters the most, especially when you're used to a 30-man rumble. This is a 50-man rumble. The greatest rumble. The greatest Royal Rumble. But what you get is number 41 through 50. Jeffrey, Taylor, me, Jeffrey, Tony, Taylor, Tony, Jeffrey. The Fool has 4 picks in the top 10. I have 2, Taylor has 2, Tony has 2. Freaking 4 picks in the top 10. And number 50 also. Ridiculous. But it was fair. It was lottery style. The women's, that was won by Tony in the regular Royal Rumble, and the men's, it was Jeffrey. Luckily, this is not for the title, because unless I get 2 picks in the regular picks over both, well, it'll only be 1 pick if I get over both. Then a Royal Rumble would secure me for a tie, only if their person doesn't win. So I'm lucky that I didn't. that this is not a regular pay-per-view, so I can't put the title on the line. Thank you. I am being a little heelish. I don't care anymore. Forget those ways. But you know what? You're not going to forget these ways if you at least subscribe to us and be able to catch us on our normal live streams on what we do leading brands. But unfortunately, leading brand is not going to happen due to Infinity War. Thank you, Marvel. I want to watch you, yes, but I don't like the fact that you take away my own co-host. Meh, whatever. Especially since we're used to Sunday showtimes. This is a Friday at 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock if you count the pre-show. And there's no women. I think everyone knows about that. I think if you're an avid wrestler, you probably know that there's no women matches and there's no women involved because of the country. It's a culture. It has its own ways. I've heard people say it's behind. I'm not going to go as far as saying it's behind because we can also say that our culture is behind on certain things too. We don't play that game. What you do is you respect other cultures, and unfortunately, just let them know that, hey, I don't believe in the same things you believe, and let's show each other the opening eye of what each other's culture sees. So no bigotry. No bigotry. Simple. Easy to say, hard to do for most people. But you know what's not very hard to do? Picks. Making picks. You know how I can tell? Because I am your Stadium Junkies media champion and seeing the other side of the ropes. If I can find the button.